Ladies and gentlemen, I take pride in introducing the greatest show on earth.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott Gordon. Welcome again to the Uncle Floyd podcast. This is number 55. And there's a little special one today. We'll get into that in a minute. But I wanted to remind you, if you'd like to send in questions for us to answer here, just send them to ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. That's ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. And we'll answer any questions you have. Also, every Tuesday night at 8, we have a date. We run some old Uncle Floyd Show routines that have been on the air before. It's called This Was the Uncle Floyd Show, and I host it live, and you can find that at theunclefloydshow.tv. That's theunclefloydshow.tv. And my special guest right now is the one and only Weenie. Hi, Weenie.
Hi, Scott, and everybody.
I'm so glad to have you here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
And we get the chance to talk about all the fun we used to have on the Uncle Floyd Show and other stuff that we've done. Now,
right.
A lot of people don't know your background, all right?
I know.
They know everybody's real name on the show, all right? They know we've used my real name on the show, which is Harry. We've used Muggsy's real name on the show, which is Craig. And very few people, and a lot of them have asked me, what's Weenie's real name? It can't be Weenie.
No, it's Karen.
Karen.
Yeah.
I knew that, but they probably didn't know that out there. So, first question I want to start with is your background. You and I were both theater kids.
Oh, yeah.
When we were in school.
It's true. I did a lot of live theater. I was running around. I was a single mother with 3 kids. And I was going to school. And I was working as a waitress. That was a bit in itself. And I was doing shows. And I just love live theater. And
The bug bit you in school?
Pardon?
The bug bit you in high school or grammar school or where?
You know where it bit me? When I was born in Brooklyn, and my mother was very theatrical minded, and she took me to a lot of shows. She took me to Funny Girl, and I got to tell you, when I came in and saw that theater, I just felt it in my bones. And I was young. I was like maybe, 10.
You walked into the theater and it felt like home, in other words.
It did feel like home, but it was just so exciting. And I just felt, I got to do this. I want to do it. Put me on the stage right now. I want to do it. And ever since then, it just stuck with me. And we made shows in the backyard, and I lived in an apartment house, and everybody came to see us. And it just, when you got it in your bones, you just got it in your bones.
Well, that's the thing a lot of people don't understand is when you are theatrically minded, you're stuck. You have to do it. You have to perform.
You have to do it, yeah.
And even if you don't take as your vocation what you use to make money, you still do whatever you're doing theatrically.
Well, that's very true, Scott. But I was in a theater group for 30 years. We did dinner theater all around New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And, it was professional theater. And we did, I know you heard of Tony and Tina's wedding?
Yeah.
Well, we did Angela and Vito's wedding. And I played Mother of the Bride. It was such a gas. And after, of course, doing it a million times, you're just relaxed once you're doing it. And it was so much fun. The people who came to see the show were part of the wedding. We had a receiving line. They had dinner. We used to go to each table and do shtick. I miss it. I really miss it.
Well, I started out in high school theatrically. Well, I always did shows as a kid. I did shows in my basement.
Yep.
When I was like 8 years old, I used to do things. I would pick up a guitar and play it very badly at the time. And I would do that. And then once I got into school and Mahwah High School decided to start doing plays,
Yeah.
we did musicals and other plays. We did, I played Chick Clark in My Sister Eileen. He was a newspaper reporter.
Good part.
I also played Mr. Lundy in Brigadoon, which Floyd and I had in common.
He did that as well.
Uncle Floyd played Mr. Lundy in Brigadoon in Glen Rock High School. I did it in Mahwah High School.
Isn't that so?
And I was also the ship's captain in Carousel.
Wow.
So
So that's it. You had the bug. You had to do it.
that's it. I was also at the same time hanging around Les Paul's house and learning music and learning electronics and things like that from the master of all time.
I know. What a great thing that was for you, wasn't it?
It set up my entire life. Everything I do is I can track back to there.
Really.
But how did you get into doing crazy improv? Well, the wedding thing was like about 30% improv. You had a
that's exactly right. Yeah, it just, well, I went to a few classes of improv, and then I went to the comedy school in New York for improv. They can't teach you that. You got to have, I don't know, the bug or whatever the hell it is to do it. And, you know, you just learn the technique of improv. And I also went for stand-up, which is really, it's on my list. I want to do it. But, yeah, it was just the greatest experience doing this dinner theater. The wedding was very popular, but we did a lot of other plays which we wrote, like the funeral, which doesn't sound funny, but this funeral was. One of the people in the cast dropped the ashes, and she vacuumed them up. So we had to vacuum up as part of the ceremony of the funeral, because she was in there.
That sounds like a very strange show.
It was. But it got very good.
Did you do any of the mainstream shows in dinner theater?
Yeah, I did a lot of Neil Simon, and I did a lot of Lovers and Other Strangers. I did a lot of times. It's an Italian mother, which I could relate to. And, well, I did, I'm trying to think, you know, when you think about it, I can't even think of the other ones that I did. Because right after that was the dinner theater shows, and that's what stays in my mind.
And then you came to the Uncle Floyd Show.
Yeah, lucky me. Floyd asked me if I wanted to be on, and I, you know, at first I was like, I never did that. I didn't know TV. Theater and TV, it's very different.
Extremely different.
Extremely different. So it was, you know, I watched everybody and I just got used to it, and it became my lifestyle, just that Tuesday night when we did the shows.
Well, the way we did them, and a lot of people don't understand this, is the most important thing about what we did was the character creation. Once we had the character,
right,
the lines and everything else came very naturally.
I don't know about you, but when I see something, a costume, that's what turns my mind going to the character. If I saw like a certain dress, I'm thinking, who would wear that? And then you make a whole background of the character in your mind, and then you can do it.
Well,
better.
that's one of the things that when I've gone out and done talks on doing improvisation to a couple of schools and things like that. One of the things I mention is the thing of having a key, a piece that gives you the character.
Right.
And all of my pieces were costume pieces.
Oh, they were.
They were costume
the same
pieces.
As me.
The Dr. What's the Matter was the wig and the toilet plunger that I hung around my neck.
Right.
Once I had the wig and the toilet plunger on, everything else was secondary. That was Dr. What's the Matter.
Right.
Chuck Little Hat was the little guitar and the stupid little hat.
If you put them on right now, you could be that character in a second.
I would immediately go into that character and react as that character would.
Right. I know that. A lot of things.
I think that the technical term for that is a psychological trigger.
Oh, yeah.
All right?
That sounds right.
Where you have a piece that gives you the character.
Also, you kind of think about people you've met. You have to be very aware of other people, the way they speak, their mannerisms, the way they walk. And that helps too. You know, you can integrate that also.
Well, one of the things I used to do was go to the Garden State Plaza and sit and watch people.
Yep.
And eventually, within the span of about an hour of sitting and watching, somebody would do something strange enough that it would allow me to create a character in my head.
It's true. That's very true. Oh, it just came to mind. I did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I was just one of the latest that came through the window, if you saw the movie. The books are different. But, yeah, I sat in New York, and you can't stand still in New York, or either, you know, somebody will come up to you for something. So as I'm walking around, I'm really watching these ladies doing their thing. And, you know, it really helped me get the character.
That's exactly the way it works. Let's Mr. Brown Jeans. Mr. Brown Jeans came from somebody who I saw in the mall upstate New York. I can't think of the name of the town where it is, but it's just off Route 17 as you go up. There's a mall there.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people who were farmers at the time came in there, and there was one guy, I looked at him and I said, that's a character. And that's when I went out and bought the Brown Jeans to do Mr. Brown Jeans.
You see?
Because it fit the character.
That's right. So...
Hello, Sergeant.
Yeah. You know, Artie and I used to go around looking for costumes a
Really?
couple of times. Yeah. I don't know how we found the places, but he would find... Oh, I love Artie's characters. And he found a lot of, you know, crazy stuff. He wears that pink suit, which I think was his mother's, which he can't wear anymore. But anyway, it was... we used to do that, and that was great.
You know, Artie and I have the opposite problem. A lot of the costumes I wore at the time, since I weighed 317 pounds,
yeah, slightly different.
are too big for me.
I'm sure.
Artie right now, his costumes are too small. So I think we equalized nature out between the two of us.
Yeah, right. So unless you change the character, you know, because you look different, that could be too.
Was there a character that you did that you found to be the hardest to do? Most difficult one?
I don't know if I could think of one. I mean, they all have their, like, difficulty. It's not all that easy to just to do it. So they all have a little bit of tension, I'll put it. But I know I love Little Sally because I think I am Little Sally inside.
Well, everybody's got that little kid inside, but most adults have been taught to suppress that child.
Right. Well, I think most actors keep that child up front because that's when you're most creative and honest, is when you're a child.
Well, that's why they call it play a part, because you're still playing.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
The words actually mean something, believe it or not.
Yeah. I never thought of that, though. But sometimes Floyd would spring a character on me, and I just like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, he would do it, and you grab this, you grab that. So I guess that might have been difficult. But once you're doing it, it's the best thing in the world. I really miss it.
One of the things that a lot of people don't understand is the fact that we had no script, we had no rehearsal,
Right.
we had nothing. We did everything on the fly because basically we had a budget for the amount of studio time that we had to use.
That's right. And it was a full day, 5 shows in one day. Everything used to break down. Pretty much.
Well, that's technical stuff.
Right,
that's,
technical stuff.
That's nothing that's in our control. But we used to go in. We would try to get 3 shows done before lunch.
That's right. Yeah.
Because that way it was easy to do the 2 shows after lunch. If we only did 2 first and then we had to do 3, we would be very tense going through the 3.
It's true.
And Floyd was a taskmaster about that. You know, come on, move, let's go.
Yeah, right. He used to call me on Monday nights and say, I'm thinking of doing an airline stewardess, a teacher, a nurse, or whatever. And then I would go down to my wardrobe, so to speak, and I'd get those costumes. But I always bring extra stuff because you never knew.
You never knew exactly what was going on.
You never knew.
I would always have the doctor, the cop, and a couple of what I referred to as stooge characters, which were characters who just would show up. Like, I had a blue check shirt with big red strawberries on it.
Oh, yeah.
I referred to that as the strawberry stooge.
Yeah, well, it is strawberry stooge. Yeah, I always brought extra stuff, too. But, yeah, it was, you really had to be on your toes. That was the thing. And this group of all the talented people in the cast were easy to work with. I found it very easy to work with them. And, yeah, I have great memories of it.
One thing it was, we were more than a cast. We were more like a family.
Yeah, true.
And that was the feeling it got.
That's right. That's what came across. A lot of people would say that. Like, it looks so easy because there's so much laughter in your ad lib, and you try to keep a straight face because it's really funny to you. But, and I think everybody did a pretty good job with that.
And even when there was personal tragedy going on in our lives,
True.
we were still able to come in and drop the tragedy and just do the funny.
That is so true.
And a lot of people didn't see that. I was in and did shows the week my dad died. You know, I worked with Floyd the week my dad died, and
nobody could tell. Nobody would ever know.
No. As a matter of fact, the very first Uncle Floyd show I ever did was recorded. The studio date was October 12th, 1976.
Whew.
And I came in and did my first character, which was Sir John Watercress, a very strange Shakespearean actor who shouldn't have been on the stage at all.
Right.
After finding out that my best friend was killed in a car crash that morning.
Oh.
I still came in and did the bit.
I don't know what that is. I guess it's just like, it's a real gift to do a different character.
No,
because,
I think it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing because of the fact we've got that tragedy in our systems,
Right.
in our minds, and we can drop the tragedy to allow the character to take over.
Isn't that true?
And
very true.
Give us a little relief from the tragedy.
I know I've come in with you're not feeling well. I'm sure you have a million times.
Well,
and
we can always tell the story about Doug Van Horn.
What's that?
You remember Doug Van Horn, the football player, came in?
I don't remember.
He came in and we did You Shouldn't Bet Your Life, where he was the football player, the football star. He was a guard on the Giants.
Maybe
And-
that's why.
And I was a pain in the neck football fan. Yeah. Gee, Mr. Van Horn, I'm your biggest fan. I love everything you do.
Yeah.
You're wonderful. And Floyd did Groucho. Muggsy did George Fenneman.
Right.
And-
George Fenneman.
And, he called him George Filet Mignon. And we did a thing where the questions were supposedly about football, but they were about things like how many seats are there in Giants Stadium,
Oh, great.
which I, as the football fan, knew.
Oh, I see how it
And
went.
Doug Van Horn was like, "Gee, I have no idea. How many gallons does it take when they flush all the toilets in Giants Stadium at once?"
Oh, my God.
And every time he would do that, I would say things to him like, "Well, gee, Mr. Van Horn, I don't understand why you didn't know that." And then, "Well, Mr. Van Horn, really, I don't think you know anything about football." To the point where I said, Dougie, you're pretty stupid.
Oh, my gosh. No, I would have remembered that.
And we had choreographed a fight
Oh.
where he took and beat me up.
For a
No.
change, right,
Right.
Scott?
Exactly. Now, we're talking about technical things. Here we go. Take one. We were out of the light. They couldn't see the fight.
Oh, I see.
Take two.
Oh,
Somebody in the control room, we won't mention who, pushed the wrong button and took the wrong camera and got a picture of a spotlight rather than what was going on.
oh, no.
Take three. Doug Van Horn, being a professional football player and not a stunt person used to choreography, connected with me and broke 3 of my ribs.
Oh, my God.
Take 4. I couldn't deliver the line because I was still too winded from having the ribs broken.
You got your ribs. I didn't know that.
Take 5 was the one that was used on the air.
That's amazing.
And I think Jeff has all 5 takes. I would love to get them in my collection. I only have the final thing.
Oh, my goodness. That is real. You really got beat up. I can't believe you broke your ribs.
3 broken ribs on that. I dislocated my hip once doing a live show.
God. I never had that because I didn't do that kind of physical stuff.
You did enough physical stuff.
Well, a few things, but you were kind of the master of falling down and getting it.
Well, that's because between junior and senior year in high school, I went to Hollywood to stunt camp.
Did you?
I did. I learned how to do stunts. I was interested in it.
Wow.
I wrote a paper when I was a junior in high school on Yakima Canutt, who was the stuntman, the Native American stuntman who did the pull underneath the stagecoach in the John Wayne movie Stagecoach.
Oh, my goodness.
And I became interested, and I wanted to learn how to do it, and I did.
That's fabulous because that's the technicalities I was talking about. You still had it inside you to do it, but then you learned how to do it. And that's,
Well, again, that goes back to hanging around with Les Paul. He said, when you have a question, you learn.
that's right.
And that's what I did. When I had a question about something, I found out about it.
Yeah, I was just enamored with the whole thing. I was at 68 as well because Jeff and I weren't married yet, but I was at 68, and a couple times, for some reason, Floyd, I was just watching in the sidelines there, and he would say, do a character, next time. So I did that Pinky Mole, the roller skater.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was on 68. And also one time, I played Gladys. That was
Skip's wife, Gladys?
Skip's wife.
Well, in reference to Skip's wife, when you said that, we'll do this.
That's right. And I only did that once, though. But that was a lot of fun. And so I was enamored with it, how you guys did it. I could see that so much was improv. And the TV, the whole thing about that with the lights, and it was just different. And I found it a great learning experience.
Did you find it harder working in the TV without an audience at Channel 68? Because we had the audience at NJN.
Yeah.
Which gave us the audience timing.
Yeah,
but
that's what I loved.
We didn't have that at Channel 68.
No. But everybody that worked there was laughing out loud.
Well, that's because they hadn't heard it before. There was no rehearsals.
Right.
And that's why we used to laugh every once in a while on the camera because it's the first time we were hearing it, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I remember there was special, I loved the Dole family. I don't know what it is about that, but I just loved it. And I remember one time, I couldn't hold back. It was just so funny that I started breaking up during the skit. And I put my head down, but I just, you know how you can't control it sometimes?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have raw patches on the inside of my cheek where I used to bite the inside of my cheek so I wouldn't laugh.
Really? You have to do something. I don't know, but anytime you would say anything after that, it was funny to me. So, but that was really the only time that I can remember. But.
And the one who usually broke us up in the Dull family was Netto.
Yeah.
Because he was Mr. Non Sequitur. He would come out with things from left field that made absolutely no sense, and it would destroy us.
It would.
Every time.
Yeah, I know that. That was very funny. And, yeah, that was just great. And, of course, Flojo I loved. And
well, that was Little Sally.
Yeah, that was Sally. And I used to wear, I got a uniform from, at that time, I think it was Burger King. That's what I was wearing as a pinafore. It was like, I don't know how I got that. Believe me, I don't remember. But, yeah, I was trying to, you became really good at making these costumes up. And so that was a blast. That was just a blast. I love little Scotty. Your name was Scotty when in Uncle Floyd? In Flojo, I mean?
No, Little Willie.
Oh, Willie, of course.
Little Willie.
Yeah.
And one of your characters that you did that would break me up every time was Mrs. Botbile.
Oh, Mrs. Bileberg.
Mrs. Bileberg.
Yeah, Botbile, but nobody says it that way.
No, Floyd called it Mrs. Botbile because we knew somebody named Botbile.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was, but it was Mrs. Bileberg.
Mrs. Bileberg, yeah.
Bileberg.
Mrs. Bileberg, she comes very easy to me because I know a lot of people will like Mrs. Bileberg. She's a harmless kind of person.
Well, when I was growing up in Mahwah, on the way to Les Paul's house, if I walked down Route 202 from where I lived to where Les Paul's house was up in Deer Haven, I would pass a farmhouse. There was a farmhouse there. And in that farmhouse lived Gertrude Berg.
Really?
There was like a whole show business section of Mahwah. It was amazing.
That's amazing. She was really one of my idols.
And that was the best house to go on Halloween.
I bet.
She made the best, and she made them herself. She made the best cookies. They were delicious.
I thought maybe she gave you a few matzo balls.
It was like an oatmeal cookie that she put raisins and dates and all sorts of stuff in, and you couldn't beat it. I still love oatmeal cookies because of those.
I bet. Yeah, that sounds delicious, really.
And it was an interesting neighborhood. She lived there. Don Cornell, the singer, lived across the street from Les Paul.
Wow.
Lou Monte lived down the road a little bit.
Huh.
And we knew him as Joe's Uncle Pete, because his name was Pietro Scaglione.
Pedro Scaglione.
And so he was Uncle Pete. We knew him as Uncle Pete before I realized it was Lou Monte.
You really had a very famous bunch around there.
It was a really interesting neighborhood. And later on, there was even more people. Mahwah was a great town. For some reason, a lot of famous people somehow moved into Mahwah and lived there for a while. One of the people who lived there was Sterling Holloway.
Oh, wow. Didn't he do Winnie the Pooh?
He did the voice of Winnie the Pooh, yeah.
Oh, he was brilliant.
And he used to hang out in Pal's Diner. He used to go to Pal's Diner every once in a while. And I would see him in there and talk to him, and he was just a wonderful person.
Wow.
And that's why I, for some reason, have an easy time of talking to famous people, because of the fact that I knew a lot of famous people.
Yeah, you sure did.
Well, one day I was in Les Paul's house. A guy comes down. I've told this story on the podcast before. Guy comes into the kitchen. I walk in. I'm getting some coffee. Guy comes into the kitchen. Bald-headed, skinny man wearing a bathrobe from upstairs in Les Paul's house. And he says, "Any coffee left?" I said, "Yeah. Hi, I'm Scott. How you doing?" He says, "Hi, I'm Harry." And he said, "Tell Les I'll be in a little while." I said, "Okay, fine." I walked in, saw Les, and I said, "Hi, Les. I just met your friend Harry." He said, "Oh, you mean Bing?"
Wow.
It was Bing Crosby. I didn't recognize him because he didn't have his toupee on.
You gotta be kidding me.
He and Les were friends since like the mid 1940s. And when he was on the East Coast, he used to stay at Les Paul's house.
I can't even believe that.
It was one of the most amazing things, and I had no idea.
Bing Crosby. I just can't. I can't even fathom that happening. Wow.
Well, there used to be jam sessions at Les's house, and you never knew which musicians would be there on a Sunday night. You know, it would be late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Wow. I used to sneak out of my house. My parents didn't know, and I'd go down there. And, you never knew who would be there. Louis Armstrong was there one night.
Louis Armstrong. I'm really impressed with this.
It's like the most amazing time now that I think about it, but at the time it was just common.
Really?
And some people say to me, "Why don't you have pictures?" I said, "Pictures?" At the time, you had to have a camera with film, and you take the pictures, and you pay to get it developed. We didn't carry cameras around with us.
Yeah.
Now, today, there'd be selfies all over the place.
Oh, that's for sure. I would definitely do that. Louis Armstrong. Yeah, these are all brilliant people. And
well, we met a lot of brilliant people at the New Jersey Network, too, when we were doing the show.
Oh, gosh, I got to say this. What time? It just, you said we break for lunch.
Yeah.
Floyd says to me, "Weenie, why don't you take Tiny Tim out and show him where you eat lunch?" I was, what? No, I was very,
You didn't know the secret at that time.
I didn't know the secret, and I don't know what happened or why it didn't happen, but it didn't, and I was so relieved.
Well, the secret with that is with Tiny Tim, all you had to do was call him Herb, which was his name.
Oh.
And he totally went out of character and became Herbert Corey.
No way.
Yeah, he became Herbert Corey. He was a totally different person. As long as you called him Tiny Tim, he was in character.
Oh, yeah. He was really talented. When I see him now, I don't think I appreciated it as much.
Well, he had such an encyclopedic knowledge of the music that he did.
Ah.
And the music of all time. If you mentioned any recording, any like Bluebird 78, he would tell you which musicians were on that record.
Yeah, some people
what
like
studio it was recorded in. He
Floyd's like that, isn't he? He remembers.
Floyd remembers details like that.
Yeah.
Floyd remembers all the cast, not only the cast members. He remembers all the fans that he's met. If he's met somebody 2 or 3 times, he remembers their name, remembers where they're from.
Really? I don't. I could remember your face, but that's it. Names, not so much.
Yeah, faces I was never good with for some reason.
No, if I see you once or even in a crowd, I'll remember you somehow. Say, like, I know that person. I may not know where, when, or how, but I always remember a face. You remember when Robert Klein was on?
Yes.
That was so fun. He drew pictures of the cast. He had an easel and a pen, and he drew a picture. I have that picture.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I do.
I have mine as well.
Do you really? Yeah. You must.
There's a box over there that's got about 150 to 200 pictures on the wall.
Oh my gosh.
And
I have some pictures on. I didn't get that many, but when I did try to get them. take them home.
As a matter of fact, I think I showed a show recently where you came on and took one of the pictures off the wall.
Yeah, I
and
did.
kept it.
I remember that, yeah. I don't remember a lot, but that I remember. I remember so many happy times with that show. 3.5 years, but it was like, it became a lifestyle.
Well, one of the hardest things that I can say about doing the show was one of the most difficult things was the week that we knew ahead of time that we were going off New Jersey Network, and we still did the shows. You talk about letting the characters take over.
I know. I got a pie.
We knew. Yeah, you did. We knew it was happening, and we didn't tell the audience, and Floyd didn't announce anything until he sat down at the piano for the end of the last show.
That was heartbreaking.
And, it happened. So, and unfortunately, that's when you were no longer in the cast for a while.
Right.
You were no longer in the cast because of the fact that it would have looked like some sort of, considering what happened afterwards, which was the fans went crazy and sued New Jersey Network.
Right.
Over the fact that we had just done a fundraiser and collected a lot of money, and the fans were annoyed that after donating, the Uncle Floyd Show was going away, so they went and sued New Jersey Network.
It was such a shock.
Yeah, but I can understand the fact that at that point you were forced to leave the cast because Jeff was an employee. Yeah,
well, what happened was Floyd met me for coffee, and he told me that, I wasn't going to be on the... Where did you go? Suburban Cable?
We went to Suburban Cable, TV3 in Avenel right after that.
And he said, there's no dressing room.
No, Suburban Cable was in between Channel 68 New Jersey Network.
Oh, okay.
All right. After that, we went to... I'm trying to remember. We went to Storer Cable in Heightstown.
Wow, I never even heard of that.
Yeah, that was at the beginning of CTN. CTN was just starting up, Cable Television Network of New Jersey. Which was a feed to all the cable companies. They all picked up the feed, and we were on that. And,
yeah, I must have seen it once in a while.
And then we went to Jim Monaco's Frozen Studio.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a very interesting situation because it was a warehouse that had no heat, no air conditioning, and
you did it.
No paved parking.
Oh gosh!
And there was a snowstorm where Lee Arlith, who was in the cast at the time, her car got stuck, and we all went out and pushed her car out when she had to leave a little earlier because we would go till 2 or 3 in the morning there.
Oh my goodness!
And we came in and did the entire 2 shows afterwards covered in mud.
So it probably didn't even matter. You probably made a bit about it.
We did, of course we did.
That's called dedication to the, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, we kept the show going because we loved the show and we wanted to keep it going. And I'd love to keep this going, but believe it or not, we've done 40 minutes already.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, I love talking with you.
And maybe we'll do this again sometime.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. And thanks to everybody who's still watching, and you fans are dedicated just as much as we were doing the show.
And we love you for it.
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons why we keep this going, and to help Floyd out as well.
Of course.
Because he's recovering. I went and I saw him yesterday, and he was a little bit under the weather, and I said, no, let's not do a podcast this week. You rest. I'll call up Weenie and annoy the heck out of her.
No.
And that's how this happened.
Right. And I'm glad it did.
So I'm going to do a little closing here.
Okay.
And you can sit back and throw some comments in if you want to. But this has been the Uncle Floyd Podcast, number 55. And we've been glad to be here for you. And we love doing this for you. And before I said, if you have any questions you'd like to send in, please send them to ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. That's ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. And if you'd like to see clips of the old show and see Weenie, and who knows what's going to be on Tuesday night at 8. We have a date, Tuesday night at 8 Eastern. You can find it at theunclefloydshow.tv. theunclefloydshow.tv. That's just plug that into your browser. You'll be right there. And it's called This Was the Uncle Floyd Show, and I host it live. I answer your questions, and there's a chat line there, and we have a lot of fun talking about stuff. So, Weenie, thank you so much for being here.
Please, my ultimate pleasure. Thank you for asking me.
And hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Okay.
All right. I'm Scott Gordon, and we'll see you next time.
This program was produced in the studios of Scott Gordon Enterprises, Incorporated in Paramus, New Jersey.